Hey guys, what's up? It's Santiago again. Welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel. Um, so this video is going to be about my coming out story. So if you've seen the Q&A, one of the questions was what my coming out experience was like. And I did say that I make a specific video about it, which is this one. So, anyways, first of all, I said Santiago because Santiago is my first name, but really I prefer my second name, which is Catriel, which is hard to say for a lot of English speakers. I'm aware. Santiago is also hard for English speakers. I always try to say just call me Cat, so you can just call me Cat if you prefer. It's easier. It doesn't bother me. A lot of people here in Uruguay that speaks only Spanish call me Cat anyway, so yeah. Anyways, my coming out story. So, my story about coming out is a bit extensive, I guess you could say. It wasn't really just me going and sitting with my family and saying this and that. That's not how it really went. So, when did I discover that? First of all, I'm pansexual. When I came out, I didn't say I was pansexual. That's not how I identified. I wasn't very aware of all the different definitions and types of sexualities and etc. Anyways, what happened was that at a young age, I did notice that sometimes I found certain guys attractive, but I didn't really paint much mind to it. It was whatever. I was a kid, so it wasn't I wasn't raised in a religious family nor a family that showed any true homophobic ideologies or anything like that. So it wasn't like, oh no, I'm like interested in this guy. Maybe that's something wrong. Am I sick or etc. None of that really went through my mind. When I was a preteen, this was in the U.S. because, like I said before, also in the Q&A, from the age of 5, 6 up to the age of 14, I lived in the United States, in East Orange, New Jersey, to be more specific. It did happen as I was a preteen that I did start to notice a bit more of me liking guys, even though I also did like girls. I actually remember in all my years of what would be elementary school, there was always a specific girl, and it was always a different girl. There was always a girl that I really liked. And I always asked them if they wanted to be my girlfriend, and they always say no. Like I would always get rejected. Like I remember bluntly certain situations which I would ask, and it was like an honest no. I really like you as a friend. I really get friend zone immediately. Other times I would cower out and I would tell someone else to tell them. Again, this was in elementary school. I was a kid, so yeah, whatever. Then what happened was that when we came, well, when I say we, I'm referring to a large part of my nuclear family. When we came here to Uruguay, to Montevideo, then it was when everything changed around me. I started paying attention to different things. Also, I was a bit older. Like I said, I was 14, and there was a specific kid from my neighborhood that I really found interesting, and I realized that I liked them. Um, and this might sound kind of weird, but what happened was I remember very clearly. I just woke up one day and I said I like him. Like I actually like him, not just like a friend or anything. Like I'm interested in this person, and I'm into guys. but I'm also into girls. And I immediately, at the age of 14, had to tell someone. So I did not go through all this process of thinking about my sexuality and what could go wrong, or I don't know. It just blew up in my mind at the moment, like I'm bisexual. That was the idea that I had at the moment. And I had a friend that lived next door, you know. She was a close friend of mine back then. And I went and I told her, I need to speak to you about something. Because even though I didn't think about everything, I was nervous at the same time. I was scared of certain people's reactions. I was scared of being rejected. Um, all of these things that went through my mind, right? So I went to her home. She was alone because her parents were at work and her other sister was studying, so she was alone at home. I went there and I got so nervous that I just couldn't say it. I was like, "There's somebody that I like," um, and since I wouldn't speak or say the name or say it's a guy or anything like that, she was like, "Okay, tell me the letter, the first letter, and I'll guess who the person is." So I started saying the first letter, and she would go through all these girl names, people that we knew obviously from the neighborhood, and I would obviously say no every time. And then I would add another letter, and then when I added the third letter, it was obvious because it was the only person there that had a name with those three letters at the beginning. And she was like, she didn't really care. It was fine, blah blah blah. And I told her that I'm bisexual, and I really like. It was so emotionally draining for me. I started crying so bad when I told her that story. Not when I told her that story. When I came out of the closet. And yeah, it was scary for me. That is the reality. It really was scary. But yeah, it was okay. It was fine. But it was like, okay, but what next? Because I only told her, and I gotta tell all these people, and it felt so emotionally draining. So I used her as a channel for her to tell other people about my sexuality. And she would go and she would tell this person, this person, this person, and and nobody would really care. Um, but I had to come out to the guy because I really liked him, and I felt like he liked me. So she tried to talk to him, and it all happened in front of my house. I was looking through the window, and his reaction was not a positive reaction. He was a kid younger than me. I was 14. He was like 12. So yeah, fast forwarding. So the story doesn't get too long. I later on confronted him. Like I was like, I need to speak to you, and we did speak, and it was like it was all okay, but he didn't want to know anything about it. I felt horrible. I literally got sick. Like I got sick for 3 days. I was in bed. He totally rejected me and closed off. And until this day, we don't speak. Nowadays, I don't care. I'm 28 years old. I was 14 back then. Nowadays, we cross each other in the streets. We do, even though I don't live in that neighborhood anymore. I all the time go there because I have family members still living there. And nowadays, I don't care. But at that moment, it was horrible, and it was horrible for me for years. And I did lose a certain amount of friends, real friends. I didn't lose anybody, and yeah, but I do remember that in the first years after coming out, um, it was always nerve um wrecking. Having to say my sexuality to other people for the first, I'd say, 3 years. You know, by the time I got to 18, I didn't really care. I would just say like, yeah, I don't know, my ex boyfriend or stuff like that. Like it wasn't like, no, I'm into guys. I being vulgar. I didn't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. It's just this is what I'm into. If it's a problem, it's your problem. It's not my problem. And as time passed by, I realized that I'm pansexual. And the reason why I say pansexual is because I have the idea that I mean, not the idea. It's studied that sexuality is much more fluid than people think. You know, saying heterosexual, homosexual, bisexual, etc. is so um it's these boxes that people create to staple each person in one of each box. And the reality is that sexuality is more fluid. I feel that way. I'm very sexually fluid. I've said it before. I'm much more attracted to men, um, to cis men, to trans men, and then I am attracted to women. I am attracted to women in general. I do feel more attracted towards and I'm trying to eliminate the from the videos, but it's hard. I'll get used to it. You might have noticed though that the camera quality got a bit better, and I'm not doing all the noise with the hands. People told me about that, but yeah. Anyways, so I am more attracted towards cisgender women. That is the reality. Not so much towards trans women, but it's not that I'm against it or there haven't been any trans women that I've been attracted to. But my main sexual focus, I guess you could say, is men in general. And and there's much more in gender than there is male and female, and I do accept that, which is why I say as well that I'm pansexual and not bisexual. Otherwise, I just say I'm bisexual. But yeah, when it comes to other people, whoever's watching this video and is trying to come out or is in the closet and doesn't know what to do about it, the reality is that it depends a lot on your situation, as in the country that you're in, because of religious things, because of political things. Unfortunately, sometimes there are certain places in the world where being open about who you are is honestly it's dangerous. um, I just hope that you find somebody there that you can really trust in and that you can really be open towards, and tell them who you are. And remember also that your sexuality is such a small part of who you are. You are so much more things than just who you're attracted to. You know what I mean? That being gay or whichever sexuality you identify as, it doesn't define you. It's a very small part of who you are. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that don't realize that. For some reason, they tend to emphasize on the alternative sexuality, everything that's out of heteronormative um, life is weird or parallel or polarized towards something that's outside of what's right or what's normal or etc. You know, but it's not everybody. The majority of people don't care. The majority of people are fine with it, but there are certain places in the world that I know that it's much harder. I'm from Uruguay, and people in Uruguay don't give a fuck. People in Uruguay don't care. Uruguay is one of the most LGBTQIA plus um, positive countries in the world. It's one of the least religious countries in the world. Politics in general are very in favor towards people and protection of their sexuality or their gender identification. So maybe it's because of the culture, how I was raised. My parents don't care. The way my parents found out, because I didn't mention that, it was when I got sick. This friend told my mom. My mom didn't care, and then my mom told my dad. I don't know when, in which moment, but I know that she told him. And I've had two boyfriends, and my dad is someone that's like super proudful about me, because I've studied and worked a lot in my life. So he's always like, "Oh, I'm Santiago's dad, and it's such a pleasure to meet you." Like, mm, my parents are very loving towards me, and sexuality has never tilted that. affection of them towards me, especially now that they're older. My mom is about 58, I think, and my dad just turned 63 yesterday. Today is the 29th of October, being taped on the 29th of October 2023. So yeah, anyways, hope this video helped someone. Also to let you know that I'm here, and if you need the support of someone, you can contact me. You can write here on YouTube. You can write to me on my Instagram. I'll leave the link below. Um, and the most important thing is that you love yourself, and that you know that what matters the most is what you think of yourself and what you feel towards yourself. And if you love yourself, if you are sure of who you are, then you're safe. Okay. um and when it comes to coming out, and if you really want to come out, there will always be someone who you can trust in. There always will be someone that you can trust in. Doesn't matter where you are. Okay, I do know again that there are places that it's harder, but there is always somebody. Um, and yeah, just remember first to look into yourself and to assure that you are loved by yourself. If you get what I mean. Okay, so yeah, I don't want to make this video any longer because it's almost 17 minutes long, and yeah, I still haven't gotten into the all the editing abilities and all of that. I'm using natural light, and yeah. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped. I hope it gives you a brighter day and it makes you happy. And please follow me. I mean, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, leave a like, recommend this video to whoever you think might like it, and leave a comment down below. Okay? Gracias. Thanks. Bye.